in that application, okay, I put in my application on the server. Okay, that server is available in my company itself. So to maintain that server, okay, to maintain that resources in those server, it's all up to me. So what I have to do uh, in that case, I have to once I will maintaining, once I will upgrading my operating system available in that server, my application will be down for some time. So I'll not be getting the full availability. Okay, so I'm not getting. Kaushik, what you are not getting? What is cloud computing? Okay. Okay. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is nothing when you are putting your resources on the remote locations. Okay. You don't know where is the data center available. You're just consuming those resources from your end, and you need an internet for that. Okay. Using internet, using multiple resources available, multiple locations, that is a cloud computing. Okay, instead of putting everything on premise, you are putting everything on the cloud computing remote locations. Okay, so there are different key concepts are available. Okay, high availability of the resources. High availability of the resources, Microsoft says, okay, if you are putting your application, if you are putting your data in our data center on the cloud, we will be taking care of the high availability part. Okay, so you will not be getting the latency over there, like when we say upgrading the hardware. So Microsoft what says, okay, you are, if we are upgrading our hardware part, we'll shift your application on the another server, because they are having multiple servers available with us. But when you are putting the same thing on premise, if you have one server, your application will be down for some time, until unless your hardware or the operating system will not be upgraded. Okay, so these are the multiple key concepts are available. Okay, so these key concepts are having an individual part of explanation, okay, that we cannot cover as we are having limited time now. Okay, so when we talk about the economy, this is what I was talking about. So if you are spending lots of money to set up your IT infrastructure in the company, so instead of putting lots of money over there, what you have to do, you just use the cloud providers. It can be Amazon, it can be Azure, it can be Google Cloud, to consume the resources. Only pay how much resources you are going to consume. Okay, so you are not paying extra to the resources which you are not consuming. So this is what economies of scale says. And when it comes to the capacity, okay, capital expenditure, we are having operational expenditure there. So in that case, so spending on physical infrastructure upfront, okay, spending on services or product as needed. So there is a lots of difference comes when you are spending money to set up your infrastructure in your organization, or consuming the resources which are already available on the cloud. तो ये सारी चीजें अगर आप अपना बजट को लेके बात करें कंपनी स्टार्टअप के लिए, तो ये चीजें बहुत मायने रखती हैं. ओके, हमें एक आईटी लैब चाहिए प्रॉपर, तो उस आईटी लैब के अंदर कितने ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स होंगे, तो वो सारे के सारे operating system should be genuine. You have to purchase a license key for that. And you tell me how much we are going to spend for the licensing. Okay, I need Visual Studio, I need SQL Server. Okay, so for these type of softwares, we are having a very costly license available. Okay, so Microsoft, they are not charging for all these things. They will charge only for the storage of your application, only for, they will charge only for the uh, data stored in the cloud. So you will not be paying extra to the Microsoft, only you will be paying how much resources, how many services you are going to consume. And one more example, very nice example is here. Let's say I need a server only for 1 month. Okay. Later on, I don't want that server for another 5 months. Okay. So what I will do, is it a good idea to purchase that server from the market, because it will cost you more in that case? Okay. So in that case, what will happen? You Microsoft says, okay, you don't purchase if you want to use the service only for 1 month. Just consume our resources for 1 month. We'll bill for that only. Pay as you go model. Okay. People waiting. Just give me a minute. So I don't think so. All are joined here. Okay. So this is what comes. Get billing immediately, deduct the expense from your tax bill in the same year, and upfront cost pay as you go model. So you don't have to care about the upgradation part. Okay, any update of the operating system, any update in the hardware section. So you don't have to care about that. Microsoft will be taking care about all these things, and you'll be paying only for the latest services you're consuming. Okay, so we are having consumption based model. This is what I was talking about. How many resources you will be consumed. Now in that case, what will happen if, let's say, I have let's take an example of Amazon. Okay, we are having a sale on the Amazon, that is a Black Friday. Okay, so the Black Friday sale hogi, obviously multiple users will come and try to buy the products from Amazon. तो उसमें क्या होगा जब मल्टीपल people will join and try to purchase the products from the Amazon site, the server load will be high. Okay, the CPU load will be high. So in that case, what will happen? Server can be down, but Microsoft what says, you don't have to do it manually to upgrade your server to scale up or scale in the resources. You have to just consume the service, and there is a feature that is scale out and scale in. Scale out means if the server load is up, it will increase one more instance. If the server load is down, the requests are less, it will decrease the instance from there. So this is what they are showing here. If the server load is high, they will create one more instance here. Yes, horizontal and vertical scaling. So we can talk about the horizontal scaling in that. Multiple nodes will come in that case. Okay, so nodes are nothing but it's a multiple virtual machines. Fine. Now we are having different type of cloud computing. So different type of cloud computing. In that case, what we are having three type of cloud computing available. That is public, private, and hybrid. So we'll take a small example of this. Okay, so we are having a example, very beautiful example. So we are using a transport to travel from one place to another place. Okay, so when we are traveling from one place to another place, what happens? We are having different mode of traveling. Okay, I can hire a private taxi. Okay, I can use public transport, or there is another option. First, I will take a private taxi where I can see there will be a lot more rush. So I'll take a private taxi for some extent. After that, I'll join the public transport. So in that case, if you're using the public transport, okay, so you'll be using, like, let's say you are having a bus. Okay, you are traveling through bus. So you'll be paying for that seat only and how much you are traveling. Okay, you will pay, and that's it. You use their resources, and that's it. This is what pay as you go model. When it comes to private, let's say Uber, Ola, taxi. Okay, in that case, if you are hiring a private vehicle, you'll be paying more. Okay, if the bus fare is 50 rupees to travel that place where you want to go, and in this, if you want to cover the same distance through the private taxi, you'll be paying 100. Okay, so only the thing is, it comes into that scenario when we use the public cloud. Public cloud means it is available to all. You just consume the resources and pay for that only. But when it comes to the private section, you have to set up the infrastructure again in your company. Okay, so it will be on premise again. So now there is a question, that if private is also on premise, what will happen when it comes to the on premise actually? Okay, what is cloud on premise? What is on premise actually? So on premise, that you are taking care of all the hardware part, but when it comes to the private cloud, which is on premise, again you don't have to care about all these things, all the hardware part. Definitely you will be maintaining the things from your end, but not related to the hardware, not related to the application. You are consuming the resources from the Microsoft, and you will be you will be charging for that. And hybrid, let's say we are having government organizations available. So government organizations say, okay, I don't want to share our data on the cloud in the public. So Microsoft says, okay, you don't want to share, you don't want to expose your data on the cloud. We are having lots of security available, but that security, if you don't want to rely on, you can put your application on the cloud. And after putting the application on the cloud, you can keep your data on premise. Okay, when you're keeping your data on premise, your application is on cloud. This model is called hybrid model. Okay, so there are three different models available. So this is the public, where everything is on the cloud. So this is a private one, on premise. So everything, all the resources will be maintained by your organization only. So it will not be exposed to the public one. And when it comes to the hybrid part, this is the hybrid part. Okay, your application is there on cloud, okay, on public cloud, and your data is on premise. So this is hybrid cloud. When you combine your public and private cloud together, we call it hybrid cloud. Okay, so when we talk about the cloud computing in all AWS or Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure, we all have three different services available. Okay, what are those services? Those services include, let me go, yeah, type of cloud services. So these are the three services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, so these are the three different services provided by the cloud computing, or you can say the provider of clouds. It can be Azure, it can be AWS, it can be Google Cloud. Okay, so when it comes to infrastructure as a service here, okay, in infrastructure as a service, which are the things you are maintaining and which are the things maintained by the Microsoft? So here you can see compute, network, storage. These three things you don't have to care about. What you have to do, you have to just create a virtual machine, put in the operating system you want, install the runtime, application, and data access. These are the things which will be in your hand only, which you can maintain from your side. But compute, network, and storage will be provided by Microsoft. But when it comes to platform as a service, in platform as a service, you will be taking care only for your application and the data access, but rest of the things will be maintained by Microsoft. You don't have to care about all these things for high availability, upfront cost, and all these things. You don't have to do anything. But when it comes to the software as a service, in the software as a service, you are just talking about the data and the accessibility. So for example, we are having Office 365. So Office 365 is what? Is a software as a service. Okay, so guys, any question till now, anything you would like to ask? You can write your question in the chat if anything you would like to ask. Type of cloud services, okay. Type of models available, okay. So now can you tell me one thing? If I'm setting an organization, let me give you one scenario here, okay. I'm setting up a organization, okay. I want to set up the IT infrastructure in my company. So in past, if runtime is also managed by cloud, then how it is on demand service exactly? Okay, see the runtime. There are different type of runtime. There you will be selecting what runtime actually you want. Okay, so it's not like that uh, they are providing you the runtime. These options you will be selecting, okay, from your end. You want Linux machine, you want Windows machine, okay. Then what type of runtime you want? You want to use application on Java, .NET, it can be Node.js. So this is what we have. So the question you are asking, if runtime is also managed by cloud, then how it is on demand service? So obviously it is on demand service when you are consuming the service, when you are putting your application on the cloud. Okay, so this is on demand service exactly. Okay, now any other guys, any other question? So we are having 32 participants available, so only two questions, only one question came till now. So I think it's all good. You don't have any other question? Okay, any other thing? Fault tolerance means, let's say we are having uh, a data center. Okay, I deployed my application in East US. So there are multiple regions available in Microsoft Azure. So if I'm putting my application in the East US, in the East US, the data center which set up by the Microsoft is having different racks available. If one of the rack is not working in some reason, it can be a power failure, it can be a upgradation. So it will shift your application on the another rack, okay, on the another system where your application will be running. So this is the fault tolerance. So any fault comes into the server, your application will not be down. Okay, it will be keep running because they have their another rack available. So in one data center they can have multiple racks available. So if the whole data center goes down, they will be having a zones available. So how many regions we have in India? In India, we are having Central India, South India, East India, okay, Southeast India. So basically we are having a data center in Mumbai also. Okay. So as it is, if I will show you how many regions we have, Microsoft is keep upgrading their regions. So if I will say Azure regions in India. So Central, South, West India. So we are having Southeast Asia also. Okay, on platform as a service. So platform as a service, like you want to deploy your application. Okay, you want to build your application, you want to test your application. In that case, we use platform as a service. Okay, as a developer, okay, as if I'm a developer, I'll be working on platform as a service. Okay, if you are a IT guy, okay, then you will be working on infrastructure as a service. If you are an end user, you will be working on a software as a service. So is cloud based on distributed database? One second, let me show you the regions available. So total 58 regions are there worldwide and 140 countries. And here you can see, okay, so in this you can see 52, no, it's updated, it's a 58 regions as I'm telling you. Yeah, so as I'm telling you, they are updating more regions. Okay, they are creating more regions available in the world. So it keeps updated. So uh, last month I checked, so it was 56, now it's a 58. Okay, so they have given the ideas here. Okay, so announcing region, available region, zone. So multiple options they have given, you can check. And as you was asking, this is the West India, Central India, South India. So when we talk about South India, Central India, it comes in the Mumbai itself. One question, what is embedded system? So this is not a related question, I think, to the Azure. So Kaushik, why you are asking embedded system here? Okay. So is cloud based on distributed database archive? Yes, it's a distributed. When you are creating a database, you'll be given option that where you want to deploy your where you want to deploy your services, deploy your database, and would you like to go with the replica also? You want to deploy it on some other location also, or in one location there can be a multiple zone available. In that multiple zone, we are having a data centers. In that data center, we are having multiple racks available. Okay, so this is the hierarchy. We are having region peer also. So that goes in depth basically. Okay, so definitely we'll be covering when you are participating in the complete course for AZ-900. Okay, so how many of you are interested to go with this? Just a quick question, how many of you are interested to go with Microsoft Azure? Okay, Jatin Singh also raised a hand. Okay, okay, Shubham, you are using it. I was looking for AZ-104. Okay, good. AZ. So guys, AZ-104, AZ-120, before you go with all these things, you should have the basic knowledge of Microsoft Azure, and that will be covered in Azure 900 fundamental course available. So could you please repeat one more time what you have asked? So I'm asking how many of you are interested to go to be part of AZ-900 course? Okay, so AZ-900 course, basically it's a fundamental course. After doing the fundamental, you have multiple path available. You want to go as a developer, you want to go with the DevOps, you want to go with the database. Okay, there are multiple paths from there. So then you can decide what is your core technology and where you would like to go with. So previously you said that we only pay for the services and software. So do you mean the cloud has all the software available in the world to be used as a service? Yes, most of the softwares are available. Okay, so I'll be showing you that. Okay, so like we are having programming languages, Java, C Sharp, VB, Node.js. Okay, so we are having JavaScript also. So multiple languages supported by Microsoft Azure. Okay, so when I would like to deploy my application there, I'll be showing you how you can do that. So course duration and fees, and what about the certification? So all these questions will be covered by Parth Shukla. Okay, he will be coming to you, and then you can ask all these questions to him, and he will definitely explain the things to you. Okay, so now guys, we are going to deploy a quick application on the Azure. I'll be creating one MVC application in Microsoft Visual Studio, and there we will deploy our application on the Microsoft Azure cloud. Okay, but for that part, we'll be coming back after a small break. We'll take a break for 5 minutes now. Okay, then we will continue with our session. So we'll take a break for 5 minutes. Okay, so then we will come back, and we will see how we can use Microsoft Azure, how we can consume the services, and which are the options, and how we can select the pricing and all. Okay, so guys, no need to stop the session. Okay, so Kaushik, tell me the duration time. Kaushik, for what you are asking for the duration? You are asking for the course duration or what? Okay, course duration. So as I told you, Path, after some time, Path will be joining you. Okay. So he will be explaining all these things to you. What is the course duration? What is the fees? And when it will start? All these things he will tell you. Okay. So you can ask me a question related to Microsoft Azure. So does Firebase also come under the category of cloud computing? If yes, when, then why can we not use Azure AWS like we can use Firewall? We can use, it's actually Firebase is from Google. Okay. So AWS is from Amazon, Azure is from Microsoft. So these are the different vendors, they are providing the cloud services. So most of them are having a similar kind of services, but what is in the demand right now, AWS on the top. Okay. But how Microsoft Azure is coming into the market in coming years, okay, in coming 1 year or 6 months, so Microsoft Azure will be on the top. How they are giving a support, okay, how they are uh, charging to the employ customers. So just because of that, Microsoft Azure will be coming into the market very fast. Okay, so AWS, they are not like regions for AWS and Microsoft Azure are different, definitely. So it's a different. Okay. So guys, let me start my Visual Studio here so that I can create a small application. I'm using Visual Studio 2019. So as I told you, both are the products from Microsoft, and Microsoft says if you're using the product of Microsoft, we are having direct integration. You don't have to go with any other third-party tool to integrate your application with Microsoft Azure. We are having direct integration with the Microsoft applications. So it will be very easy to deploy the application. It will be very easy to maintain the resources available. So can you give me a practical example where Azure is used now? Like Firebase can be used in web app, phone app, for auth. Yeah, all these things you are talking about, you're using in Firebase is available in Microsoft Azure. Okay. So you can talk about creating a virtual machine for any of the operating system except Mac. So Mac operating system is not available in Microsoft Azure, but all other images are available. Okay, you can create a storage accounts. We are having database, okay, as a service, where we are having Cosmos DB, one of the expensive database available. Okay, we are having authentication auth 1.0 available. So we can directly publish from VS, I guess. Yes, we can directly publish our application from the Visual Studio to Microsoft Azure. Okay, so let me create a small application here, a web application. I'm going to create ASP.NET Core web application. Okay, so here we are having a resources available. Okay, these are the different languages: C Sharp, C++, F Sharp, Java, JavaScript, Python. Okay, query language. So different languages are available. Okay, so all these languages are supported by Microsoft Azure. So they have direct support for C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, Python, and Node.js. Okay, and I have not installed the Visual Studio completely. Once you will install Visual Studio with all the features, you'll be getting the Azure content here also. So you can consume your services from the .NET itself. So let me go with the all platform here, and I want to go with web and C Sharp. Okay, so I'll be creating a core application. So let's give a name, demo site, and let me create it. Okay, so I'll be using MVC here. Okay, so guys, as you can see here in my Microsoft Azure portal, I don't have anything here. I don't have any resource group. I don't have any services consumed. Okay, I have just one thing, that is my subscription available. Okay, so I'm going back to my Visual Studio. Okay, so this is my application. Now this is the small application which I built here. Let me start it here locally. First of all, let me run it. So right now my application is on localhost. Okay, demo site. I just wanted to put this application on Microsoft Azure so that you all can use that application from your mobile, from your desktop. Okay, so like that. So I'll be sharing the URL once I will host my application on Microsoft Azure. So to host the application on Microsoft Azure, I'll go to the Solution Explorer here, right click on the application name, and I'll go with this publish. So when you say publish here, so this is uh, app service. So this is, we are talking about Azure now. So in this Azure app service means you can deploy your API app, you can deploy your web application, you can deploy your mobile application. So what platform you required? So when you go with the app service, we are deploying our application in Windows. This is for Linux. And this is if you have the virtual machine in available in the Microsoft Azure. So right now I don't have any virtual machine. I don't want to use the Linux right now. I'll deploy my application on Windows. So I don't have anything in the Azure portal. So I'll go with create new. Okay. So let's create a profile here. First of all, it will check my subscription. So my subscription is available in this ID as I have two IDs available. So it pick up the ID which I'm using for Azure portal. Now what name you want to give to your application? So it will check globally. So demo site. So let me give web demo site. Okay, it is available. This is my subscription. Resource group. So I don't have any resource group right now. I'll be creating a new resource group. That is, let's create Archie 900. Okay. So this is the resource group. This is my hosting. Now for the hosting plan. So let me give a name. What is resource group? Resource group is nothing, but it's a container. Okay, where you can put all your services. So if you want to delete, you don't have to delete the services one by one. You have to just delete the resource group. All your services will be deleted. So it's a container where you are going to hold your services. Okay, you can put the policies. Now the size. What size you required here? So we are having one core with the 1.75 GB of RAM. So according to your requirement, according to your application, how much load it will handle. So you'll be selecting any one of these plans. So you will be charged accordingly. So we are having free also. Okay, if you want to go with the free, we are having shared also. If you are having multiple options, multiple domains. Now here I'll be selecting the basic one. Basic, standard, premium, three plans comes. And let me create this profile. Okay, so let it create the profile, and I'll go back to the Azure portal. And in the Azure portal, if I will go for the resource group here, and I'll be creating one resource group from here also, so that I'll show you some more options. Let me create a resource group with name AZ Archie. And where I want to deploy that, I will deploy that into East US, as we are having different locations available. Okay, so let me deploy this into East US and create. Okay, so once I will create the resource, I will be notified through notification. So my resource group is created. Now, as we was talking about the application, so let me create. So there are multiple resources. They're categorized. If you are working with uh, artificial intelligence, machine learning, analytics, so all the resources are available. Okay, so according to your requirement, you will be selecting one of the category and you'll be working on that. So as of now, I'll be creating app service plan. So this is what we are creating through Visual Studio also. But I would like to show you more options. What app service plan you want to give? Let's say my app plan. Okay. So operating system, you want Linux or Windows. Okay. So the same option we have seen there also. And this is the location where you want to deploy. And this is the pricing tier. SKU. SKU is nothing but it's a stock keeping unit. So when it comes to the stock keeping unit, they will be showing everything here with the features. Okay. So let them load. So they are telling you the price. So this is for the production. If you are going for the dev test purpose, there are 3 different categories available. So very first category will charge, this is the free one where you will be getting 1 GB memory, 60 minutes day compute, and other things are free. There is no price. Now for this B1 basic one, we are having 1.75 GB RAM, 100 total ACU. Okay. So we are having 868 price per month. So accordingly, as per your requirement, you'll be selecting and you can see the features available. This is traffic manager. This is auto scaling. Okay. What is ACU? This is a compute unit available, mathematical, what we can say, uh, there is a one term, actually I forget that. I'll come to you again. What is ACU? Okay. And let me go back. Let me select the basic one here and apply, and I'll be creating it from here. Okay. So when I will go back to my Visual Studio, so let me check, is it created? Yeah. So it is created. Now I can just click on publish. So once I will click on publish, it will uh, rebuild my application and publish it on the Azure portal, and you will be able to see that. Okay. Restarting the web app. So you can see the status at the bottom. Let me go back to the Azure portal. So it is working now. So my application is deployed. I'll be sharing this URL to everyone. Okay. Kindly open this URL from your side. I shared that URL in the chat. Please open that from your side. And Jatin Singh, ACU is Azure Compute Unit. Yes. Shushanta, right answer. Azure Compute Unit. I was just a bit confused about it's arithmetic or Azure. So all of you can try this and let me know, is it working or not? The URL which I provided to you. And when I will go back to my Azure portal, go to the home part and resource group. And this is the resource group which I created through Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, so just with a few clicks, it's a working and it is available globally now. So let me open that. So in this, you'll be getting, here it is. This is your website, okay, which I deployed web application, and this is the plan. Okay, app service plan, which I showed you, and this is the app service. Basically, all your app services are available in the app service plan. When you go here, you'll be getting option apps, which are the apps available in this app service plan. This is what. And from here itself, you can deploy that. You can click on browse, you can stop your services, you can restart. So this is what we have. Okay, guys, any question now? Anything you would like to ask? Any question related to cloud computing, any question related to the models available, any question related to the services available? Can we monitor our website from Azure dashboard you have hosted? Yes, sure, we can. If I will go back to Azure portal, okay, so at the bottom, you can see, okay, data in, data out, as you all are requesting for this. Okay, so what is the response time actually? How many requested generated? Okay, so all these graphs are available and you can monitor your web application from here. Even we are having an option for the monitor also, very specific to monitor your task, monitor your services. And you can set some rules, you can perform some task over there. If my request response time is less than more than 20 seconds, increase instance, or you can say increase multiple scale out instance from your side. So these are the automation tasks which you can perform according to your application. So this is how you can see. So request, what is the sum, average response. So these we call it application insight. Okay, so application insight, or you can go with the telemetry word. Telemetry is nothing, it's a live data coming. So you can see from here. Okay, so for most of the resources, we have this option available where you can monitor your applications. Okay, analytics, yes. So could you please explain the difference between infrastructure and platform as a service? Definitely. Infrastructure as a service is a part of IT guy who will be creating the virtual machine, what operating system you required, what runtime you required. So all these installation part, those who are taking care of, okay, how much CPU core you required, how much RAM you required. So it's all comes under infrastructure as a service. Platform as service, only you can use platform as a service, like you want to deploy your application, you want to test your application, that part comes under the platform as a service. So as a developer, you can work on the platform as a service. As a admin, or you can say IT guy, you'll be working in infrastructure as a service. As a end user, we call it software as a service, like Office 365. So is there any central node for data centers so that we can update all the data centers together? No, this part is taken care by the Microsoft itself. You don't have to do anything in that. Okay, you have to just use the features. Okay, in the features, you'll be just selecting how many nodes you required, how many replicas you want for your application, and accordingly your application will be available. The updation of the data center is all into the Microsoft part. So can we check number of visitor of my web application? Not right now, no. We have to consume the service that is the monitor in that case. So then we'll be able to see that. Tomorrow is my first round interview in Microsoft, and domain will be a common world backup, but they told me to prepare basic topic on Azure, as well as what should I prepare, any topic. Yes, definitely you will be you can prepare cloud computing, how many models are there, how many services, and how we can consume that. These are the basic fundamental topics which you can cover for this type of interview. Can we publish a .com or dot inside? Definitely you have to purchase the domain, and accordingly you have to provide that domain while publishing the website on Azure. Okay, so our resource group did not contain a virtual machine, but still on app is live. How it is? See, virtual machine is something else. I have not selected the virtual machine that I want to deploy my application in the virtual machine. I deployed my application direct in the Azure portal. Okay, if you want to deploy your application in the virtual machine, definitely we'll be creating a virtual machine. We have an option here. So you create a virtual machine, just browse that virtual machine while deploying your application. Okay, so today what you explained, I got it, and all topics I understood what you have covered till now. But anything else have to prepare? Yes, definitely you have to go through some more topics. Okay, so that I cannot share it with you right now. That path will tell you. You just join this small uh, classes like AZ-900, which we are going to cover, and definitely it will help you to clear the examination. Will help you to impress the interviewer also that you have done AZ-900. Okay, so guys, any other question? Because I'm going to hand over the session to Path. Now Path will be talking to you related to the duration, related to the fee, related to the days and the date when we are going to start. All these things you can ask to Path now. Okay, so can I leave now? Is there any other question? If you have, you can ask me now. No, all doubt cleared. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Sure. One quick question. Okay. I read on Microsoft side AZ-900 is getting retired and 901 is new course with some modification. So I would like to know from when 900 is getting retired and new 901 is coming. See, right now they are into the process to upgrade, but the topics which we are going to cover in 900 will remain same. Okay. So they are just modifying the content ups and down. Okay, so the link I'll be sharing with the Parth later on, and that link he will share in the group. So you'll be able to figure it out. And most of the courses, like we are having AZ-203, they upgraded to the AZ-204. But once you will go with the certification will be valid for another 2 years. Okay, the complete detail is available online. Okay, so they are not going to retire this certificate because we are having lots of courses running and we are having lots of services. So do we have any other pricing model other than pay as you go? Definitely we are having two different pricing model available. Pay as you go means if you are going to consume services for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. But if you want to consume the services for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, like that, we are having a pricing model called reserved instance, and Microsoft will be giving you more than 50% of discount if you're using Microsoft resources, Azure resources for long period of time. Okay, you will be going with reserved instance, and there the services, the pricing will be very less as compared to pay as you go. Okay, Shweta, any other question? Okay, can I hand it over to Path now? If you don't have any other question. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, Path, you can go ahead now.
Hi everyone. So I guess it was an informative session. You can press yes if you enjoyed it, and we'll just cover few more things. Okay. So can I see how many people are there? Press yes. Okay. Good. Fine. So we have a lot of people pressing yes, yes, yes. Okay. Fine. So I'll just start with the point. What exactly we are keeping an assessment also. One important thing, if this session closes in between, you can again log in. Okay, and I'll just cover what exactly we are planning post this webinar. So this till now webinar was something which was there for anyone who want to know about cloud, what is cloud, how to understand cloud from the perspective of an end user, or maybe from the perspective of a programmer. Now when we go into this cloud application, okay, I'll just share my slide. Yes. So, okay, my screen is visible. Okay, fine. So you can ask me questions also in between. Good. Okay. So now we'll just brief you about some marketing perspective of cloud, why cloud is so unique, why everyone would be thinking about cloud. And we say that cloud is future. Why we are saying it. Okay. So when we are talking about cloud, let us understand something from the perspective of from where cloud is coming. Okay, now before cloud, what was the model? Now if we go with this logic, let me start with my slideshow. Yeah, so when we talk about cloud, so we have this concept that we started from client and server. So are you aware about client and server model? If you're from technology background, so we have a client, we have a server, so we generally call it browser. Okay, through browser. So let's take an example. Anyone who can give us an example of client and server model? So we are going in from client and server to virtualization to cloud to containerization and then finally serverless. Anyone who can give us an example of client and server model? Yes. Okay. Let's take an example of Facebook. Okay. Or let's take an example of any website. So you have a client, you have a server. And when we want to go one step ahead, yeah. So Rohit is saying websites like social media is a perfect example of client and server. So you have a client, you are the client, and then there is a server. And if I go into next step, so we have a next step which is virtualization. So you might have gone through this tool which is known as VMware, generally used for virtualization. So when we talk about such things, okay, let me start with, should I start with my video also? Okay, so people are interested, fine. Yes, am I visible to you also? Fine. Okay, fine. So when we talk about this model, virtualization model, so we have this concept where we can virtualize things. Okay, and one step ahead of virtualization is cloud. So currently when we are into this cloud, there would be next step like containerizations and serverless model. Now coming to the next part, why we need to understand cloud, okay? And what is so unique about cloud? So we have these stats, and these stats says that when we talk about cloud, so in the coming time, we will have more than $400 billion of estimated cloud computing. You can see with this situation, which is a lockdown situation, every country is facing this lockdown situation. So you can say most of the business are going online. And with this, you have online seminars, you have online education, you have online businesses, everything is going online. Most of that, you have 85, 81% companies having multi-cloud strategy. Now, if I ask you about the locations, so we have locations for data centers like Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, okay? And then we are having multiple cloud strategy for multiple companies. Similarly, we have more than 83% enterprise workload, which is on cloud itself. So if I want to host an application, you might have gone through GoDaddy, you might have gone through all these applications. So we have storage online, even if we want to have a subscription of Office 365, okay? So we have a lot of applications online which are totally backed by cloud. And then for more than 4.1 billion, if I talk about Indian economy, so we have more than 4.1 billion dollar, which is a market on cloud. So this create a uniqueness that why we should understand cloud and why cloud is so unique, okay? So if I go into the detail about what is running on cloud, so starting from our manufacturing units to transportation to energy grids to whatever we want to analyze. So if I want to analyze any data, okay, so let's take an example. You might be aware about this Netflix series Money Heist, or any of the series which is based on Money Heist. So recently we have a season 4, I guess, season 4 for Money Heist. So Netflix noticed a delay in their server because there was huge requirement. Everyone around the globe was trying to access that series, season 4. So when you have such kind of spike in usage, so you need an environment which can scale up, okay? And when we talk about such environment, we need to have a strategy, okay? So let's take an example. If Amazon starts delivering their shippings, okay, if Amazon start shipping their things, so currently there would be lakhs and lakhs of users will be placing their order online, okay? So now in that scenario, we need a strategy for Amazon so that Amazon can provide us such kind of flexibility. Amazon can provide us good quality service and a latency time also. So in that scenario, we have cloud in action, okay? Now coming to this scenario where we need to understand that how does it affect a common man? I'm a programmer. Let's take an example. I'm a resource person. I'm a trainer. I conduct trainings online. I'm a programmer. I write applications. Okay. Or I'm a tester. Okay. I'm testing my application. So from that perspective, if I compare cloud environment, so you can see two images. A person having a lot of infrastructure, a lot of, you can say, applications on the particular site, and a person is working remotely, a person who has all the data on the cloud. So when we compare these two scenarios, we can see the cost, okay, as the most driving factor. Cost is almost half. So if I want a server at my location, so we can have things like a server rack. I need to implement it in a model. And if I want to compare it with cloud, I can just purchase an instance. It is just like renting a bike or a car compared to buying a bike or a car. This is very simple to imagine, which Mr. Vishal was covering. Now, similarly, if I go with Azure only, so now my favorite question to everyone is why we should consider Azure. We have other options. We have options like Google Cloud. We have options like Amazon Web Service. So why people are considering Azure only? Anyone who want to come up with an answer? Why we should consider Azure? What is so unique about Azure? So generally in my seminars, I always, yes, Sushant Chatterjee is saying right now it is fastest growing. True. Okay. Okay. And anyone who want to give us a suggestion why they should consider Azure only backed by top companies? True. True. Now, when we talk about Fortune 500 companies, you'll find more than 60% of the companies are working on Azure. Now, these Fortune 500 companies, I'll take a case study also. In our session, we have a case study. Now, let's take an example. Yes, security and services. The reason, true. Okay, fine. So let's take some examples and why we should consider the reason. Biggest reason why we should consider this Azure as a cloud service because of Microsoft. So when we talk about Microsoft, Microsoft is very famous for ease of development. Microsoft is very famous for resources, upgrade, onboard people in a very less time and effort. Very good. So we have these examples where it is easy to handle and available to us. Yes, true. So when we talk about this instances of Microsoft, let's understand this. Simple scenario. Microsoft is powering our digital transformation also. So if I talk about presence of Microsoft specific to Indian economy, specific to Indian requirement. So when we can say that 70% of the top companies, 100 Bombay Stock Exchange companies are on Microsoft Cloud. We have top 14 core sectors. Core sectors, we call it oil, gas, power, infrastructure, automobile, all these companies. And then top 20 public and private sector banks are also using Microsoft. Okay, anyone who is aware about this bank? Yes Bank? Yes. Okay, so Microsoft was taking care of their cloud hosting also. So there are a lot of examples that I will cover. Okay, there are examples where companies are, in fact government of India is also backed with Microsoft Azure. Okay, fine. So when we talk about education, so you can find out there are more than 400 educational institutions across country who are directly using their Microsoft services. So if I talk about Office 365 is a very famous product nowadays. Now we have this institution by the name of Manipal University, which is using hybrid storage. We have another institution by the name of I'll just take an example where other Indian institutions, okay, Indian Institute of Science also is again usually this particular Microsoft Azure services. Now, when we talk about these examples, let's take an example like automobile industry. So we have market leaders like Ola. We have market leaders who are into automotive industry like Tata. They are also having cloud support from Azure. So these are a few examples. And with the recent visit of CEO of Microsoft, the idea was very simple. When we talk about empowering person, so Microsoft Azure is planning to empowering everyone in order to achieve, is you can say productivity, in order to achieve you can say remote working. Okay, so this is the overall idea. Okay, now when we talk about what are the other plans, why Microsoft is planning and what exactly they are doing. Okay, so you can go through this news article where recently Microsoft get into action with things related to let's just scroll my side. Yes, yeah, so they were getting, they launched their Azure Stack in India. Okay, and with this they were having 100 BSE companies. So BSE is just like Bombay Stock Exchange. So global giants are working with this and 29 state governments. Okay, can anyone answer which was the first state to come up with AI strategy with Microsoft, to officially announce their merger with AI? Anyone who reads newspaper, who is updated about Azure? First state. Okay, I guess people are searching on Google. First state to introduce Microsoft Azure. Fine. Okay, Telangana. Yes, Rohit, right. Telangana was the first state to come up with Azure services for their working. Okay, they have utilized, they have signed MOUs also for AI services. Very good. So now the best thing about this webinar is we have students from Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, across India. They are joining for this webinar. And fine. So yes, so let's go with this logic. When we go with Azure, we are going with all these strategy. And when we are planning for Azure Stack, so we are planning for all these solutions from Microsoft Azure team. Okay, coming with this, you might have a classical example of Geo. Have you watched that video? Microsoft launched when Mr. Satya Nadella was coming, and he started a small briefing about that all the data of Microsoft Geo is based on Microsoft Azure services, be it Microsoft 365, be it Microsoft Azure or Microsoft AI. Okay, so all these companies are backing Microsoft Azure. So we can indirectly say that Azure has a very strong, aggressive strategy, specifically in India. And we can say that most of the companies in the coming 2 years will be shifting to Azure. Okay, fine. So this is a reason why Azure has a different marketplace in India compared to other countries, and why Indian subcontinent is very aggressive, keeping Microsoft strategy in mind. Okay, so there are a lot of things. Now, what kind of job roles, what kind of industry people are interested in Azure services? So let's take an example. I am from hospitality, or I am from a management background. So we have students who are from management background. We have students from Calcutta also. So if I'm from a management background, or if I'm from not from technical background, so what kind of percentage people are opting for Azure? So you can see there are 5% people who are from MSc and MS background, 6% people from MBA and PGDM, and then you have 17% people from science background. Okay, most of the people opting for Azure learning, okay, opting for Azure as a career path, are either from engineering or from science background. Okay, but then we have people coming from other backgrounds also. Fine. So we have industry, we have job roles in all the domains. It's not only for developers, it's not only for architect, it's not only for networking professionals to make a career in you can say Microsoft Azure. Anyone can make a career, and there are a lot of versatile, you can say, domains, versatile, you can say, uh, roles which Azure offers, starting from maintaining to that, or maybe going ahead with development part, creating instances, okay, taking care of network load balancing. There are a lot of reasons for that. Okay, now uh, coming up to the next part, what kind of work experience distribution is there? Okay, so let's take an example. If I'm from manufacturing industry, okay, I'm having my own manufacturing setup, or if I'm from banking, finance and insurance industry, okay, so what kind of work experience distribution is there? So we can clearly see, when we talk about work experience, we have majorly people coming from IT and technology background. Okay, and when we see that, we can have other understanding, like there are people from telecom background also, there are people from banking, insurance, manufacturing, consulting background also. Okay, so we have different domains, we have different people coming from different domains for trying, for knowing more about Azure. And generally there is a misconception that Azure is only for technical geeks, it is only for people who are having sound programming background. It's not like that. There are definite roles, there are definite domains which anyone can target. Okay, so this is about the work experience distribution in Azure. I hope this is making a lot of sense. Now, post this webinar, what is there for you? If you're planning to make a career in Azure, or if you want to know more about Azure, so what we can offer, or what we can do, we are planning up a 5-day training. Okay, just like this other webinars, we are planning up a 5 days training which will focus on preparation of global exams. Okay, which will focus on covering everything in nutshell, everything from the perspective of a new you can say layman. Okay, and what would be the things and why you should consider an online program, especially knowledge pro online program for Azure. Okay, so we'll be providing you lecture notes, okay, like videos, demonstration. We'll be providing you all these things, okay, how you can prepare for AZ-900 exam. And if I go with the details, we'll be providing you career assistance also, how to create a career in terms of preparations, in terms of resume building, personalized career guidance specific to your domain. Okay, we will be planning for hands-on labs and projects also. So in this duration, what we are planning, if you find yourself interesting for this workshop, which will be an online workshop and skill development program. So you can will be going ahead with a project, okay, where you will be hosting your applications, okay. You will be checking how to create services, how to create virtual machines, how to upload all these things, and we will be going ahead with the learning content beyond completion of this course, okay. And you know the best part about this online workshop will be you will be prepared for an online exam, which is AZ-900, okay. Now it's an online exam, so you'll be again appearing, you need to clearing, you will be clearing this exam, and then only you will be getting Microsoft certification on AZ-900. So when we talk about the current scenario, so the present scenario is going with the mainstream programming, going with the mainstream domain, mastering things, and then if you master cloud, if you're planning for cloud, you can fall into this category, okay. So this is what we are looking out for, okay. So when we are going ahead with the program, when we are going ahead with the cloud applications, there will be a lot of things. Now covering again the remaining part, let's take some of the case studies, okay. I hope if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I might be going fast because again, we have already covered 1 hour and 33 minutes. And generally, we have a time restrictions for these kinds of webinars also. But again, due to lockdown, Zoom is supporting such kind of webinars where people are coming from different regions and they are extending their time limit also. So when we talk about case studies, you can have a note of it and we'll be sharing your recording also. So when we talk about case studies, you might be knowing about Adobe. Okay. Anyone who can share why Adobe is so famous? Yes. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Okay. I guess people know Adobe, but they are not aware about how Adobe is using these things. Okay. Now, Adobe started helping their customer in having more engagement by sharing content related to Adobe Creative Cloud. If you are an Adobe user, okay. Okay, so we have Mr. Kishore is asking for certification cost, fees, duration, lectures. I'll share you everything. I'll just cover this case study. Okay. So Adobe Creative Cloud is built on Adobe Experience and they integrated their data analytics, content, audience, and everything. If you have used Photoshop, so there is an Adobe Creative Cloud also. Okay. So this Creative Cloud is based on Microsoft Azure. Okay. And when we talk about Microsoft Azure, there are other case studies also. So Adobe transformed their user experience with the help of Microsoft Azure. Okay. And there are more than 1200 companies with such case studies. I'll share you the link of such case studies also. Okay. You might be aware about HP. Fine. So when we talk about HP, they came up with an idea of having technical support contacts, okay, to improve both services, to have more, you can say, virtual agents using Microsoft Dynamics 365. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 is just an extension to Microsoft Office. I'll just cover this thing in a couple of minutes, and then we'll start with the remaining financials and everything of this particular course. Okay. So customers can now interact, assistant to solve the problems. So they came up with an AI kind of solution. Okay. And this AI solution helps them in understanding their customers insight with their common customers issue. So this is how HP solved their problem with this implementation of Azure. Now let's take an example. If HP wants a candidate to handle their cloud requirement, to handle their cloud thing, so they need someone who is aware about cloud things, okay, who knows how to maintain those applications, who knows how to work with those applications, and that's how your domain knowledge comes handy. Fine. So there are a lot of examples where we can see BMW. Okay. BMW came up with an idea of Windows Azure by making audience data available to Azure Dynamics CRM. So there is a CRM product. Okay. And they came up with an idea of having keeping their data online so that they can serve their employees. Okay. Serve their people. Now, fine. So there are a lot of examples like Bosch. If you go Birla Management, they are based on that. Xbox, okay, majorly focus on games. So these are few examples. Wipro also. Okay,